another way of saying there's no me is that what it's saying is that it's pointing to the fact that there is no relationship. Relationship what is that? It's a way of arranging what is. It's a way of configuring it. It's a way, in a way, we could say it's the way the appearance appears. It appears in the form of relationship, as things relating to other things, as a self, me, relating to a world. Me being the thing that I am, relating with this thing, the world, or relating with all of the things in the world, relating among all the things, or just relating with my life, relating with the world of what's happening. So it's all relationship, all of that. And again, whatever relationship is, what is relationship? The point is, relationship is not a natural feature of what is. It's not a feature of what is. It's a way of, say, describing or interpreting or configuring appearance as the form of things relating. So this idea of relating, again, it's an idea. That's kind of the point. There is no relationship just here as what is. There's nothing here in relationship to anything else. That's non-duality. There aren't two things. Relationship is two things. I could have said it that way. Saved a lot of description, because that is what relationship is. You've got two things, and they tell a story of how we say, relate, or how one thing interacts or responds or acts in relation to another thing. So my life as me is about how I react, or how I act, how I act in relation to all the things of the world, relation to the circumstance that I'm in at any point. So that's me. Me is, again, the story of how the relating is going on. And the story of how I'm understanding it. So you've got knowledge in there. My knowledge of what it is. My own description. My own perception of what it is. Which also involves things like judgment of what's good and what is not, or what's good and what's better, what's useful, what's meaningless, and what's worth doing. All that stuff. That comes out of the story of relationship. So, but this communication and, all the communication about this is pointing to the fact that the story of relationship, that's why we call it a story. We're always talking about the story. It's just pointing to the fact that that's the tale of relationship. Story is describing this configuration of relationship of these different entities, these different things, say. Well, not entities necessarily, but things. The things that make up the world, that make up the experience. Things of all kinds, including thoughts and feelings. It's all this big soup of relationship. But that is not ever here. It's a construction. construction of the mind, a construction of language, a construction of storytelling, essentially. The story of what's happening. But that's not what is, primarily, or at all. I mean, what is isn't a story, and it's not a story of relationship. It's just what is. It's just this as it is. No one knows what it is. There's no word for anything about it. All the things and all the features and all the, all these relationships, which are endless. Stories are endless. The configurations are endless. Situations are endless. The situation always describes a relationship. If you have no relationship, in other words, no two things, no things relating up against one another, just what is, without being divided up, then there's no relationship. Well, that's what is. The dividing up is done, well, you could say the dividing up is a process which makes the me, that is the me. So for me, my experience is a story of relationship. And again, this communication is always just pointing to that's not happening. This isn't a relationship. Again, nobody knows what it is. It's not a situation of things. It's not a configuration. It's not an arrangement of things. It's not a story of things coming together, coming apart, building, falling apart. That's what the story is. And that is appearing. So we say it's appearing, but it's not happening. And that's essentially the whole point of any of this. And it's interesting because for the me, in relationship, in my story, in my, we could say, dream of relating to things, relating to the world, my dream of being a thing separate from all of this and in relationship, there's more to it. Well, I mean, there's more to be described about it because that story of relationship is always one of need, not feeling completed, not feeling enough, not feeling whole, not feeling okay about it all, needing to get something from it, from the relationship. So the relationship isn't just a dance, a play, a lila, as the Hindus say. Well, it is that. That's the appearance of relationship can be described that way, and ultimately that's a good description. It's just a play, without any purpose or import or goal or need or any of that. That's kind of the sense of this word lila, as it comes through the Hindu traditions. But for the me experience, it's not just this bouncy play of stuff. It's this other thing of being one of the things and feeling separate from everything else and needing to do something about it, needing to get to end that separation, to get unseparate, to get connected up with the whole, the totality, not feeling okay being alone and separate. So that's the story The story is in relationship with things and needing somehow to do something about this relationship to get it fulfilled, to get it to end the feeling of separation, the feeling of not enough, the feeling of not okay about it all. And that's seeking, right? Seeking to get that done. So all of this is part of this sense of relationship. The seeking, the separation, the story of how that's all showing up and how I am showing up as this sense of desire and this sense of needing to do something, in relationship to all of this, to get to the end of it, to solve the dilemma of being separate. And that's what all the doing is about. It's the motivation behind everything that I'm doing, which is about getting an experience, whatever it is. Getting the experience that would answer the problem, answer the lack, answer the need. And of course, I mean, what is there to do about that? Well, I'm doing more. Always doing, endlessly doing to fulfill that need. And the joke about it is that the need is not something that is fulfilled in relationship. There is nothing that will fulfill that need. Because the need is part of the structure of relationship. The structure of relationship is the structure of separation. So when that starts, as it were, the person is born, however that happens, I don't know. I don't mean the body, I mean the sense of being separate, the sense of being me. Well, with that is the sense of being separate and the sense of needing to heal that, needing to fix the separation, and needing to get something, some circumstance, some change of my experience that will be that. And again, there is nothing in experience that will be that, because the point is that separation, that sense of incomplete, is relationship. It's the relationship itself, which is separate, which is in relation to something else. So, but what I'm needing, what I'm wanting, this completion, isn't something else. It's actually this. It's actually what there always is, what everything is, what only is. But it's not in the form of that, separate one who can get, it's not in the form of something that can be experienced in this dream of relationship.